from our heart, living from our core, living from our power, we all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alignment Summit. I'm Sue Erda. I'm your host for this event, and I am one of the publishers at Powerful You Publishing. And I'm so grateful to be here and to introduce you to these 20 incredible women who came together in a collaboration book to share their knowledge, their stories, their wisdom, and really they're doing it for themselves so they can put it out in the world and really to help people. That's what this is about, is to help you, assist you on your own personal journey of getting into alignment for yourself, lining up your own heart, soul, and energy as one. So I'm excited today to bring to you Shannon N. Smith. There are Shannon Smiths out there, Shannon N. Smith, who is really awesome. I really like her energy. I know you will too. I'm going to read a brief introduction of Shannon, and then we'll get started talking with her.
Thank you.
Shannon inspires individuals to transform their lives by broadening their perspectives on wellness. As a lifelong lover of the body, Shannon merges concepts from energy work and science to help clients reconnect with their bodies and unlock their magic. Through her own journey with an autoimmune diagnosis, Shannon uncovered the power of energy work, natural solutions, and alchemy in health. She holds a BS in kinesiology and an MBA in international management. She also holds many professional certifications, such as ACE, which is a personal trainer, health coach, and group fitness instructor, Reiki Master Trainer, Access Bars Practitioner and Facilitator, Decodes Practitioner for Quantum Healing, and QHHT Level 2, which is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. And Shannon, I'm so happy to welcome you today. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's so nice to be with you today, Sue.
Me too. I'm excited for our listeners because I really like your topic. Looking for answers, your body may be holding the keys.
Yes.
And, I've noticed that on my own journey with some autoimmune issues. So, and not just about autoimmune, about just life in general. The body knows, it just knows. So I'm excited for you to talk with us about that. So let's get started, if you would, by telling us some of your personal journey and how it led you to where you are today.
Yeah, so my personal journey, I always like to start from a health perspective. And, although I've had several kind of health things go on, I like to start around the 2012, maybe 2008, 2010 timeframe. So kind of that 4-year period is when things really shifted for me. I had some things happen with my body. My body started changing in a manner that I just didn't understand. And I was determined to figure out what was going on, but I didn't know how. And in 2012, I finally sought help. And that's when I received an official diagnosis of an autoimmune. And although most people would say like, oh my God, you received a diagnosis, that's horrible. It was actually really relieving to me because I knew I wasn't alone, first and foremost. And I knew there was treatment. I knew there was relief. So that was a shift in and of itself, but I turned things around. I got the help. And then a few years later, I decided I needed different. And what that meant was I was tired of taking pills. I was tired. I didn't want to, be so reliant on them. There were so many kind of little things that I had to build up in my awareness around, just survival. And that no longer felt good for me. So a myriad of things happened, but it all kind of culminated in the decision to figure out how to not take pills anymore. And I started to do that in 2018. And then in 2020, I was actually able to make that step to not rely on the pills for day-to-day function. Throughout this process, it was really mindset. It was understanding my environment. It was understanding my diet and the exercise and kind of all the things that I had traditionally and, educationally understood, but it was weaving in this newfound energy perspective that I didn't have. So that happened about the 2017 timeframe, and really was the motivation for kind of the pills and unwinding that. But where I am today is I'm someone who really, really understands the importance of connecting with their body. I understand the importance of mindset. I understand the importance of support because I didn't have it the entire time that I've been on this journey. I understand the importance of saying, I will do whatever it takes for my health, for my body, and then actually taking the action steps to do it and see what happens. So you mentioned in my bio kind of the power of alchemy. Like that is what I'm about, trying different things and seeing what happens. And you'd be surprised when you have an open mind what can happen. And today I surround myself with just an amazing support system. And I understand the importance of that because I didn't always have the support system that I craved, that I needed. But I know they came when I actually did need them. So I surround myself with amazing people. I've created an environment in which I can thrive, I can rest, I can feel inspired, and I can feel in flow. And it did take some major changes and some willingness to make some big moves to get to this place. I left the profession that I kind of built after 16 years. And I had some amazing milestones and amazing accomplishments in that profession, but it wasn't what my soul needed. It wasn't what my health needed. So I had to be willing to do whatever it took to prioritize myself. And I have to say, I did it and it feels good. So
That's
today,
awesome.
yeah, and I spend my days helping people. I spend my days, helping people see what is possible in their lives. And day by day, I see what else is possible in my own life. So whether it's energy healing or coaching or natural products or, anything else, it's been a good ride. I have to say it's been a good ride. I'm excited to see where else it takes me.
Awesome. I love to hear that because there are so many women that I know that take a big leap to really totally switching professions, in a sense. And it's a huge leap. And I guess you did it partly because what you said there with your health journey, you needed support. You got the support. And I'm interested to hear about that from you because I know that you have a huge passion around helping people with their own health and wellness. And I'm wondering where that came from. Was it part of your journey? Why are you doing that now?
Yeah. So it's actually interesting. So I've always loved the body, like just genuine love for the human body. I've always loved science. I love anatomy and physiology. And I've loved just learning about the systems and the processes and just you do one thing and then something else happens. And I mean, it might sound kind of crazy, but I even liked getting injured. So like as an athlete, as a child, I loved going to physical therapy. Like if my ankle was hurt or something like that, because I loved just the process of healing and regeneration and just seeing what would happen. So I have a genuine love and appreciation for the body and just the complexity and just the magic that it is, on top of a desire to help others. But that really comes from my own journey, as you stated. So I understand what it's like to not have someone to talk to. I understand what it's like to just go through the really deepest, darkest moments on your own and feel lost. Things from, like I said, the autoimmune to just weight to hormones to just diet and exercise. Like all of those things I've had experience with support and without support. And there's a marked difference between with and without. So I love to be the person to help walk beside someone as they're on that journey and see when they're able to just have that awareness about, okay, well, I'm doing this one thing and then my body's responding another way, or I'm doing this one thing and my life is looking a certain way. So having that awareness and then shifting from awareness to putting pieces together to then taking action, and then from action seeing results. So I love that, particularly with health and wellness, because I mean, without our health, what do we have? Because it's big, it matters, it's important, and we all want to be healthy, we all want to thrive. So why not get a little support along the way? I will also say that I'm a lover of a good puzzle. And what better puzzle than the human body and health? Like it's the ultimate puzzle.
Awesome. I love that. I love puzzles too. I
Yeah.
love solving things. I love working on them. I love the twists and turns it takes. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, life is surprising and there's a lot of stuff that comes at us all the time. Tell
Mm.
us, Shannon, what personal roadblocks have you overcome in your life?
Yeah. Wow. So there's two that I can think of. The health is the biggest one. I've dealt with health things my entire life, from, you know, the monthly menstrual cycle to injuries to just illness to the autoimmune diagnosis, which kind of ultimately like culminates in why I'm here today, because it was a blessing in disguise. And I couldn't see it at the time, but there were so many lessons that I had to learn in that process to, go from, oh crap, something's wrong with my body, to getting on medication, and then to deciding that I had had enough and that I wanted better. I realized that I really, really needed to change some things. And the health had to be the catalyst for the change. I know that now, but I didn't know it then. I saw it as a roadblock, but I really saw the gift in it. And I couldn't do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I couldn't exercise and eat certain things, and just I had to turn around my entire life, all of the behaviors. And that was a major roadblock, because I was known as someone who went and they just go, 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 go all the time. I was the person that you relied on. I was the person that had the answers, but I couldn't have all of the answers when I didn't feel good. And a lot of people didn't understand that. And for me, it was frustrating, but it kind of was what it was. And I understand now that all of those shifts had to happen because there was power, there was relief, there was perspective gained in all of the things that I experienced. So the health and unwinding that and the diagnosis was really, really a roadblock. It was, because I had to shift everything, but I'm grateful for the shifts that I had to make. And then the second thing I'd say is the process of discovering myself. So I was the ultimate chameleon, like I said, and that came at a cost. Being responsible for things and suppressing emotions and, not having a voice because you're living for others or catering to others' needs, that took a toll. And I didn't realize it. Even negative self-talk, like things like that really, really played into my story. And I had to learn that, one, those things took a toll, that those things mattered. Like the things I said about myself, the thoughts that I thought, they mattered, and my body was registering them. And once I learned the importance of mindset, I really started to appreciate the environment that I was in and the situation that I was in, because I realized that I had contributed to it. So not only could I contribute to it, but I could also change it. And it was through the energy work that I started that unwinding process, and really seeing the layers of myself and all the layers of other people that I had taken on as my own. I saw those layers and I started to shed them, and I started to see what was underneath and discover the person and the being that I am. And like I said, it's been a wild ride, but day by day, I learned something new about myself. I learned something new about how I want to show up and how I want to be for others, so I can help them do the same for their own lives and their own bodies.
So Shannon, you mentioned that you had to switch your mindset and your self-talk in your head. Tell me just one thing that you switched from and what you changed it to in your mindset, your self-talk.
Oh, there's so many things. Just one.
Just one or two.
Okay. So one thing was that my body wanted to support me. That was one of the biggest shifts that I had to make, that my body wanted to support me. And then Another one was that you can't get it done and you can't get it wrong. So that's actually for my Abraham Hicks fans out there.
Yes.
That is one of the most powerful phrases that I think I've ever heard, because it lets you know that no matter what you do, you're always on the right path. That as long as you take action, as long as you see a step to take, you're always doing something for the better. And like, how does it not get better than that? Like, that is so comforting. No matter what I do, I'm doing something right. It might not always look like that or feel like that, but you're always on the right path. Even if you take a detour, or even if you take the scenic route, like you're always good.
Totally. I totally agree with you. And I'm a big Abraham Hicks fan as well. And I love that. You can't get it wrong. So, and life is a continuum. So it's like, we're okay. I always remind me,
Yep.
I'm okay. There's still more. It's okay. Yep.
Yep.
That's good stuff. So, Shannon, all of us live our lives with certain principles in mind, right? So what is a number one principle that you have that's impacted your life and that you can share with our audience?
Mm-hmm. So it actually is the one that my body wants to support me. This was a game changer for me, because I heard this about the 2018 timeframe. I was listening to an interview and someone posed the question, do you know your body wants to support you? And I thought, no. No, I don't, sir, because it was a man who was, in the interview. So no, I don't, because my body's attacking me, right? Like, that's what the doctor said. That's what everyone is perpetuating around me. So I did not know that my body wanted to support me. I did not know that I could even think something so bold. And being willing to give myself permission to consider that. Because at that point, like, I had been on medication 5 or 6 years. I was told, take these pills for the rest of your life and don't change anything and everything will be fine. I knew that there was something else more for me, but I didn't have anybody else telling me differently. So I just followed the lead. But once I gave myself permission to hear that question and then try it on, and like, consider, what if my body wants to support me? Like, what if there is another way to think about this entire situation that I've been living? What if there was another way? And I started to give myself permission to consider that. And it was just really changing from victim mode to empowered, to something else is possible. Not that I had the answers, or not exactly knowing how something else was possible, but just entertaining that something else was possible and that I could be supported. That was foreign for me. That was very foreign. It was very new. But once I was able to kind of try this on little by little, like I said, it was a game changer. I started to understand my body in a different way. And like I said, I have a science background, so I understand the science. I understand the processes. But from a living your health situation, I didn't understand that. Living in a manner in which you're compassionate about what your body's doing and understanding that you can have a relationship with your body, that was very new to me. So I had to get to a place where I could understand that, one, I could be in power. And then two, that I could develop a relationship to understand that my body was supporting me, and that it had been doing it this entire time. I just had to understand the language that it was speaking.
Yep. That's awesome. I love that. And so we invite all of the people who are listening to take that on as their own. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, so a lot of people that are listening are probably on their own health journey. We all are. Our life is about that. As you said, if you don't have your health, what do you have? And certainly when we don't have good health, it's our main focus, So what would you say are some misconceptions that people have about maybe improving their health or their life or aligning with their bodies?
Okay. I have several. I think there are several ideas about this. I think there are several misconceptions, but the number one thing that I think is a misconception or a myth is the expectations around how the process should go. I can talk from experience around this, but I think we all have expectations about trying a certain method or trying a certain process and then getting an expected result from that process, and the timing that it will take for us to go from not feeling good to a state of feeling good and thriving. So understanding that there are so many factors that come into play, particularly with health, particularly with the body, and knowing that you have to try certain things and then see how the body responds. Now, remember, you can't get it done, you can't get it wrong. So as long as you're moving, there's going to be positive motion. So understanding that you have to release expectations and you have to understand that some things may work, some things may not work. There is no magic pill. That's kind of one of the things that frustrates me, because all of the things that I've tried, whether they've worked or not, there has not been a magic pill. And there's some things that I can tell you, I've kind of concocted different versions of things and they've worked. I don't know which specific thing has worked, but the culmination and the ingredients of that recipe has all worked. So being willing to have an open mind and then not have an expectation about how something could work or should work, or being very stringent in what you are or are not willing to do. That I'd say is kind of the biggest misconception, is the expectation and then the duration.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, along with what you just said, it's that it's different for everybody,
Mhm.
so really it's about
Mhm.
you and what works for you, and trying the things and see and pay attention to know what works for you. So,
Yes.
and I know that you believe that connecting with your own body is really important. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So for the longest time, I did not like my body. There were so many things I did not like. I won't list them because we might be here all night. But there were so many things that I didn't like. And there was aggravation and shame and frustration and just so many emotions and thoughts and beliefs I had about myself and why I was wrong, why my body was wrong. And I didn't know that my body was taking all of this stuff in. It was thinking, okay, well, she doesn't like us, so therefore we're going to act accordingly. And I didn't know that my body was kind of taking score. I didn't know that the years and years and years of me saying, I don't like this, or this is too big, or that's too small. Actually, years and lifetimes, I might add, of all the ways that I've not liked myself. All of that was building up. I didn't know that. And like I said, like our bodies are sponges, just like little children are sponges. It registers in our subconscious. Our bodies register that information, those thoughts, those feelings, those patterns of behavior. They register those in our cells and our DNA. Because of that, because of the way that I was talking to myself, I was disconnected. I was numb. And I already mentioned that I was, doing everything for everyone else. So I was not showing up for myself. I didn't have a relationship with my body because I was in my body, but that was about it. I didn't understand what was going on with it because I was so busy living for everyone else. So it took learning how to build a relationship. Well, first, it took me understanding that I needed to have a relationship with my body. First and foremost, understanding that that was possible. And then second, doing what I needed to do to build the relationship. Once I got the relationship, that's when the answers came. So I love to show people how to understand what their bodies are saying, what their bodies are doing. Each of our bodies has a different language. There's different messages that our bodies are telling us all day, every single day. But do we listen? That's the question. And I don't think a lot of us know to listen. We think our bodies you have an ache or you have a pain or you have a rash or you have something and you're like, oh God, my body's messing up. My body's failing me. My body is doing something wrong. I would posit, I would challenge you to flip that and say, what is my body responding to? Now that I have a relationship with my body and I'm connected, I say, thank you all day, every day, body, for doing what you do to support me, because I understand that you're supporting me. How do you flip that switch to saying, thank you, body, I know you're supporting me. How do you want to talk to me? How do you want to communicate with me so I can understand what you need me to give you?
Yep, I love that. Shannon, I know there are a lot of people listening right now that want to make some changes in their health, in their bodies. What would you say? Let's help them. So let's tell them, what's the number one mistake that they might make, but let's stop them from making it. What is that?
Okay. Limiting what is possible. So having a limitation on what is possible for your health and your body. Like I said, I was told I would be on pills for the rest of my life. That just with full confidence, that's what the doctor told me. And I said, okay. In the back of my head, I did not accept that. Nothing in my being accepted that I would be on pills for the rest of my life. I didn't know how, I didn't know what, I didn't know why, I didn't know when, I just knew. I knew something different was possible. I believed that something different was possible. So what I would say is to know and believe by fixing your mindset. So mindset, and not limiting what you think is possible for your health and for your life. Because I've seen people beat cancer with little to no medical intervention. I have helped, like I said, myself, but I've helped other people get off medication and feel better, have thriving relationships, have thriving lives, because they were willing to take the steps that were necessary to shift their lives to improve their health. So everything is possible when it comes to health, when it comes to our bodies. We just have to understand that and then be willing to take action. And it's kind of funny that so the song, it's a Meatloaf song from the 1990s. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Do you know that song?
Yes. Great song.
So I would replace that with health. I would do anything for health, but I won't do that. So if you have that, but I won't do that second part, are you really willing to do what it takes to protect your health, to get your body to where it wants to be, where you deserve for it to be? So I would be willing to do anything for health, period. And this is what I'm willing to do. Show me some steps so I can try on certain things that I might be willing to try. So I've been willing to literally turn my life upside down, upside down, inside out, backwards, forwards. And it has not been easy, but it is possible. It absolutely is possible. And I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all figured out. I learn something new every day, like I said before, but I'm so grateful for the journey because I believed, and now I explore every day what else actually is possible.
I love it. I love it. You give, I'm sure, a lot of people out there hope. And I had a similar situation to you. And I also know everything is possible. And it is about listening to your own body. And that's the message. So I'm thrilled. Thank you so much, Shannon. I know that there are lots of people listening who would like more of you, like more information. And I know your website has a plethora of information on it. Can you share that with us and tell us a little bit about what's there and what they can get?
Absolutely. I'm so happy to share that. So the best way to reach me is by email. And the best email is hello@shannoninsmith.com. That's 4 N's, shannoninsmith.com. And that's actually my website. So shannoninsmith.com is the main place where all the magic happens. There's, Sue, as you mentioned, so many resources. If you go to the Connect page, so shannoninsmith.com/connect. On there, you will find free downloadable ebooks for connecting with your body, for nutrition, for understanding all sorts of things, health and wellness. There's YouTube clips from my YouTube channel. There are events and places where I, show up around town virtually and in person. That is the main hub for everything that you need. But at the very bottom of the page, there's a button to schedule a free call. So I invite everyone to schedule a free strategy call. It's a 30-minute call to discuss whatever you want about your health, about your life, any challenges that you're going through, any goals that you're trying to achieve. And we can strategize to see if I'm your person, if I'm your healer, or if I have ideas that might help you lead to someone else who might be your person or your healer. So I invite you all to go, send an email, but also to go to the website to get some resources.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shannon. This has been great. I've enjoyed hearing what you have to say today. You're a breath of fresh air. And I know that your message is going to help a lot of people to feel comforted that their own body is here to support them. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much too for being a part of this whole project and sharing your story in the book, Women Living in Alignment. Your story is really cool, amazing. People will enjoy reading it, inspire them. So, I'm inviting everybody to do that, but I really appreciate you, Shannon.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, Sue. I hope everyone who is listening to this gets some value, even if it's just one small thing. And yeah, I'm grateful for this, and I'm just so excited to see what else is in store.
Wonderful. Me too, because life is a continuum and it keeps on coming. So
Indeed.
Everyone that's listening, please continue to listen to the summit and be sure to buy the book, Women Living in Alignment, on launch day, which is November 2nd. We are having a 99-cent Kindle promotion on that day. So that would be awesome. If you're into Kindle, that's a perfect time to buy it. Otherwise, the paperback is also available for you there. And it's 20 authors who are sharing their stories. You will love the book. You will be inspired just by people just like Shannon. So thanks so much, everybody. Oh, that website to go to on that day, womenlivinginalignment.com, and you'll be guided to your Amazon page, whatever country you're in, to be able to buy that book. And you'll see tons of gifts from our authors, plus plenty of our partners who have awesome gifts to give to you once you buy that book on Amazon. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. I know you're on your own journey of living in alignment and getting in better health and feeling good about yourself. So continue to do that. Listen to these authors and do your life, baby. Have fun. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye for now.